The restaurant was filled with laughter and the clinking of glasses. At a corner table, an old man in tattered clothes counted a few coins in his trembling hands. He looked at the menu, his eyes filled with sadness. A well-dressed man sitting nearby noticed him and smirked. "Look at this beggar. Trying to eat in a place meant for people like us." The people around chuckled. The old man's face turned red with embarrassment. He lowered his head, pretending not to hear. "Why don't you leave, old man? This isn't a charity," the rich man added mockingly. Before the old man could respond, a deep, firm voice cut through the laughter. "That's funny. Because I was just thinking, money sure buys a lot, but it sure doesn't buy class." The room fell silent. Every head turned. Clint Eastwood stood up, his sharp gaze locked on the rich man. The rich man scoffed. "And who do you think you are?" Clint took a slow step forward. "Just someone who knows that respect isn't measured by money." The rich man rolled his eyes. "Oh, please. This old man doesn't belong here." Clint's eyes narrowed. "And what makes you think you do?" The rich man adjusted his expensive watch. "Because I can afford it." Clint nodded. "Yeah. And what else can you afford? Can you afford kindness? Can you afford dignity?" The room remained silent. The old man gripped his coins tightly, his hands shaking. Clint reached into his pocket, pulled out his wallet, and placed a $100 bill on the table in front of him. "Eat whatever you want," he said calmly. The old man's eyes filled with tears. The rich man chuckled. "So what? You think buying him a meal changes anything?" Clint tilted his head. "No. But it changes something in here." He tapped his chest. "And that's worth more than all the money in your bank." The rich man's smirk faded. The restaurant guests whispered among themselves. Some nodded in agreement, while others looked away, ashamed. The atmosphere had shifted. The old man picked up the bill with shaky hands. "Thank you. I don't know how to repay you." Clint smiled faintly. "You don't have to. Just do the same for someone else when you can." The old man nodded, swallowing hard. The waiter approached the rich man's table, his face tense. "Sir, I think it would be best if you left." The rich man's face turned red. "Excuse me?" The waiter hesitated before saying, "We don't serve people who think they're better than others." The entire restaurant watched in silence. Clint stood there, arms crossed, as the rich man grabbed his coat angrily. "This is ridiculous," he spat before storming toward the door. As he reached it, he turned back to Clint. "You think you taught me a lesson?" Clint smirked. "I don't need to. Life will." The door slammed shut. The room was silent for a moment. Then, a few people began clapping. Slowly, the applause grew louder. Clint didn't acknowledge it, he simply turned back to the old man and gave him a reassuring nod. The old man took a bite of his meal, his hands still shaking slightly. He looked around, no longer feeling invisible, no longer feeling unworthy. For the first time in a long time, he felt seen. Clint picked up his coat and headed for the door. But before he left, the waiter stopped him. "Sir," he said, "that was incredible." Clint shrugged. "Wasn't much. Just doing what's right." He glanced at the old man one last time, who was now smiling, and walked out into the night. If this story inspired you, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you never miss another powerful story like this. AirZion follows all your formatting rules, *** sections, no extra spaces, engaging storytelling, and Clint Eastwood in every part, ***. Let me know if you need more. Rocket.